Welcome to another World of Tanks debriefing. This one brought to us by the Dutchman here as part of his group with DGC out of the EU, sir. These guys are sending this one in actually as a group video. I'm really only going to get to see the Dutchman's point of view here, but I was told from his email that this is actually the group of them working together pretty well, and just to commentate on the how they interact and whatnot else. So, gonna kind of pick it up a bit, talk about it in a bigger sense then as the group operates as opposed to just the individual, and for those that are out of line of sight in terms of the group, I will do what I can with just the individual present. So, with that said, it looks like they're playing Assault on Sand River, and they are the defensive group. So, let's go ahead and get right into the battle then, shall we? It's a tier 8's the max, there's a platoon of Super Pershings on the other side, and a whole lot of other stuff in between. Let's get right to it. And of course, because I would have forgotten if I didn't say it, they are running an AMX 5100, an IS-3, and a T-71. So, and here we finally go into the battle. So, starting off, first off, is just in an assault map, you really got to figure out where your team's going. You don't want to split yourselves up too much, but you also want to make sure you have two pretty decent sized flanks, because you need to be able to absorb the brunt of whatever flank they choose to push on, and then relocate as needed to go help and assist it. Now, they're all sticking together as a kind of in the similar area. They're not splitting out, one guy going over to the 1, 2, 3 area, another guy going over to the 8, 9, 10 area. They're all kind of sticking together with their buddy in the T-71 acting as a scout, spotting out everything as early as he possibly can. That is pretty much the clutch thing you have to do in Assault, is find out where they're making their large push. Last thing you want to do is find out too late and you're under strength in the area they're pushing and over strength in the area that has 1 or 2 tanks. So immediately we see that there's a bunch of heavies down here to the south, and they are pushing over into the 890 area, whereas there's a few that are just heading up here into the north. And it looks like his 2 platoon mates have already taken down 2 people, the AMX 5100 killing 1 guy, and then the 71 finishing off one of their scouts. So kind of a little trade there, and very effective trade. Those Super Pershings are a very deadly threat, especially if they're all acting together. And there's this 25-2 that's just roaming into the open here, not even looking straight at him. So he's still got the advantage here. He could probably finish it off with ease. Just takes an easy hit. Ooh, leaves him with 20 hit points. Not a lot you can do, but he definitely needs to get to cover. There's a bunch of big tanks over there. He doesn't really want to have to fight. Getting tracked is not a good thing, but he's definitely watching his back. From the front, though, not a whole heck of a lot could probably do too much to him. He's pretty high up there in terms of this game, and really doesn't have to worry too much about stuff penetrating. The 71 coming in from behind, though, and finishing off his target for him. And it looks like it's just the 29, the 152, oh, nope, things are starting to populate now. It is a mass of tanks over here. So he squeaks in a really quick kill shot, kind of camouflage, not really worrying too much. That 152, though, is a big threat. So he's still using the camouflage to his advantage, but they definitely know he's there. He is still angled properly, though. He's sitting in a nice, decent area. I'd be hugging behind that rock if it was me, but he does have his teammates supporting him, which is a nice thing. Going after the major threat, though, at the moment with the SU, because his HE cannon can do damage to anybody and everybody, and if he gets a lucky pin on the 5100, that thing's dead. So same thing with that KV-2. If that thing were to penetrate, it'll do hefty damage to either of the targets. Or was that a KV-2, or was that the I'm getting my targets confused. But anyway, finishing off the 152 there, the key thing with that one, because he could easily damage any of the targets that were out here. Now going after the KV-2, as he has the derp cannon, and he can do some pretty hefty damage. Again, if he penetrates, it's all based on what's a big threat with the penetration. That IS certainly is a major threat, but he got finished off by the AMX 5100, and what's left is a Churchill, not much of a threat, a T-29, just alright, and then that KV-2. So, just throwing in shells left and right at this guy. He's taken little bits of damage, but nothing to really have to worry about yet. the T-29 is going to be a little bit trouble to penetrate. He does squeak that one in right across the top of his turret, getting it right into the commander's hatch as usual. And right now it's just a mop-up operation. This one went rather quick and rather well actually for him. He's going to bounce pretty much anything else that comes his way. He really doesn't have much to fear from these two tanks. They're not going to get through the front of him very easily. It's going to take a lot of work. Going to go for the easy kill with the finishing off the Churchill, and then being able to focus on the T-29. T-29 does penetrate and do damage, but there's too much around him to really have to worry too much about it. AMX 5100 finishing him off, and they operated very effectively as a team, as we saw. They all kind of hugged the same areas. The 5100 up here taking outside shots on the targets that came out to try and tackle the IS. Not a very bad idea there. One guy acting almost, I don't want to say as bait, but almost as a, you know, just your primary target, while the others just supporting him the best they can. Anything that tries to pop out and shoot him, definitely had side shots or weak armor point shots at him, and they certainly were able to take down a lot of major threats by the IS sitting himself out there, bringing targets to him, and then the T-71 and the AMX 5100 taking their shots at him as needed. So they're going to wrap it up here. Just an IS-3 left to kill all the way across the other end of the board. They all work together perfectly. They had a nice little synchronous thing going on. Looks like they're going to get Brothers in Arms with that one, and they'll probably also get some other stuff. We will have to take a look at what they get. I actually saw an email. He told me what medals they all get, so we'll take a quick glance at that at the capture screens at the end. A short but sweet little video there. It was a pretty good match that they had there. The medals that they all got, first starting off with the AMX 5120, he ended up getting Sniper and Brothers in Arms. The Scout, the T1 or the T-71, ended up getting Scout along with Brothers in Arms. And the Dutchman who submitted this video ended up getting Steel Wall with Brothers in Arms. So there you have it, a pretty good match for the three of them. Now if we actually look at the battle here, experience-wise they all earned right over 1,000 and were all relatively close to each other too. So they did a great job there. That was very lopsided. As you can see, their chance to win was pretty good. And of course, I don't understand all the things that XVM was putting out for them, but their chance to win certainly was pretty high up according to their screenshot. 70-some odd percent. It's not bad. It's not a guarantee. I've lost plenty of battles where I was 90% chance to win, and I've won plenty of battles where I was 5% chance to win. So that means nothing, but Assault is a very difficult map to win on if you're the assaulting team. If you're the defending team, you do have a slight advantage, and they certainly were able to show it there with the teamwork that they all had, supporting one another, and especially that AMX 5120 being their sniper, working in tandem with the IS, shooting the targets that would come and try and take out the IS, certainly worked out phenomenally well. And then of course with the T-71 spotting everyone early in the game and then doing little bits of damage here and there, it really worked out for a lot of them. And there you have it. Teamwork really does pay off in this game, and they showed it to the max there when what they were able to pull and what they were able to do just by working together, communicating, and being able to identify targets and threats to each other. So with that, I want to thank the Dutchman for sending this one in along with his two cohorts here. And anyone else who wants to send in a video or a replay for me to look at, please send it to darkling@gmail.com. Give me a short little blurb about what was involved in the battle and what happened. And also send me the screen caps at the end of your personal score, team score, and detailed report. Send that all to me, and I will take a look at it if I can. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next debriefing.